Hello everybody, how are you doing? I'm out in the shop today and I'm working on a new blank that I've been experimenting with, and I've got that blank on the lathe and I'm going to show it to you real quick. Here's a quick peek at it. Let me go to the end down here. You'll notice there are 8 segments. Notice how like a pinwheel kind of effect. I'm really excited about this blank. It's been something I've been thinking about for a little while, and it hit me how to make the jig. The other day I made the jig and made the blank. So this is the first time I've turned one, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. I've been showing lots of updates over on Patreon. The folks over there have been following along, and they really seem to be enjoying the process and just being able to keep up with what's happening with these blanks. I haven't got to turning today just yet because I'm having an issue with my remote. This is the remote for my dust collector, and you can see the top button allows you to set the time that the thing runs. You actually use the set button and then you use the time button to set the time that it runs, and the start stop button is in the middle. And if you look at this, notice how much farther these 2 bottom buttons stick out than the top button. And see if you can hear this. I don't know if you can hear that with the lawnmower in the background, but the center button, start and stop, clicks just fine, as well as the set button. The top button doesn't move at all. It's like it's jammed into place. See how it looks like it's jammed down there? I've never ever used that button, so I don't understand how it would have gotten jammed like that. But I put brand new batteries in it, and I have to push this button and kind of jiggle to get the darn thing to work, and it's kind of a pain because you should be able just to hit it and go. But this button is causing me an issue. I'm at the point where I don't use that button, and I tried using a little razor blade to see if I could jostle that around and get it to pop back up, thinking maybe something just got jammed in there or something, because I've never used that button. But I don't know what the deal is. I can't get it off of the board, or I can't get the button to raise, so I think I may get the soldering iron and just take this thing off the board completely so that this button is free to operate. Well, I went ahead and did it. I removed this little switch from the board. You can see how it's damaged, and I still, for the life of me, can't figure out how that happened. I don't understand it, but you can see where it used to set on the board. No damage was done. I just heated up the solder, and I used this tool here. It's like a little plunger, and you put that right next to the solder when it's in liquid state, and it pulls it right off the board. And then I just pop that little devil right off of there. I'll go online, look these up, see if I can buy a replacement. But for now, I'm going to get my remote reassembled and see if this helps, because both these buttons work perfectly, and this should very easily turn that dust collector back off and on and off. I'm thinking with this one being pressed all the time that it may be getting like some kind of a crossed up signal. So I'll let you know what happens. I haven't snapped the case back onto the remote yet because I want to test it, but you can see I put the screws back in, and I wasn't able to put the time button on because there was nothing behind it to hold it in place, so it just went inside and rattled around. But let's test this now. Look at that. One hit and it's on or off. So I'm really thankful that I opened that remote up and looked in there, because I was getting frustrated. I mean, I just put new batteries in it a couple of weeks ago. I went in the house, I grabbed 2 new batteries thinking maybe that thing just drains batteries like crazy. I put 2 new batteries in and I kept hitting start, 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 and the darn thing wouldn't come on. When I took it apart and found that crushed switch, that made all the difference in the world. Now, one touch and it's on just like it should be. The remote is working perfectly. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to go online, see if I can find another one of those switches, because I really would like to replace it. Otherwise, garbage and dirt gets inside the switch, and that could cause another problem. But we'll go ahead and get that replaced. And you never know, at some point in the future, I may want to use the time feature. Just right now, it's not something I really need in my shop. But I'm super happy that's working now, and we can get back to turning. Here's a quick shot of the new blank turned. You'll notice it's got a few little cracks in it. I'm going to work on that in future iterations. But overall, I'm happy with how this test went. Hey everybody, how are you doing? I've been out working in the shop, and I came to a conclusion, and let me show you what it is. I got things turned upside down right now. This is my jointer. It used to back up to the back of my lathe. What I found is I rarely use that jointer, and what used to sit in that corner is this sanding table, and I am using this thing all the time. And I also need to be able to connect quickly to my dust collection when I use that. So I'm going to move that sanding table and back it up to my lathe to make it out in the open and more convenient to use, because it is one of the more handy tools that I have in the shop. Let me go over here. You can see I've got everything drug out over here that was underneath of that table. I got to get it put back. I've got everything tore up over there, and I am going to get all of this straightened up before I do anything else today. That thing's a little better set up. I'm liking this. One thing I need to do is I've got my hose here that goes to my shop vac. I use that for general cleanup around the shop. It goes through the dust deputy. I think I'm going to build a little hook on the front of this air conditioner stand to where I can just loop it up on there. That'll keep it up off the floor and out of the way, and that'll be a super simple build. This is ready to go. What I did is I wanted a quick disconnect from the back of this and the back of that. So I actually had a spare blast gate, so I just attached that to my hose, and it just plugs right into there, right into there. So I've got a quick disconnect now. It's not optimal, but it's good enough. I'm super happy about that. And yeah, I'm ready to start sanding. I got a couple of things left to clean up. Like I got to figure out what to do with this, what to do with the old speakers, and then I've got my wood. I need to go through that box down there. The really small stuff we'll toss into that box. The larger stuff I'll shove back in that corner if I think I can use it. Looks like most of it's pretty small stuff, so it's probably going to end up going to the burn pile. But yeah, we're making good progress. But I just realized I got to record a podcast in about 20 minutes, and I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I'm going to zip in the house and get ready for that. And we'll be back out here soon, working on some projects and working on the shop. The shop's getting better, moving stuff around, making it just a little better. I'll keep you guys posted. Take care, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.